to come into the city looking for a better opportunity, better education, better job, better economic conditions. But then after a few years of staying in Lima, they lost their job, they couldn't pay any more rent, then they ended up in slum areas. Already they had killed the 4 or 5 priests, Catholic missionaries in that area because they didn't want charity. So when we went, some of them told very openly, we don't want any charity from you, we want our rights. Then I remember what Baba has told, Hammett is only a short-term solution, whereas PROUT is a long-term solution. So Baba didn't want us also to continue to depend upon us that we are doing relief and giving them food and clothing. So now I'm coming back to Haiti. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Went to work in the school. When he went to work in the school, there was a natural calamity, so he went to that area where there was need of relief work. There were other religious relief organizations. They went and they stayed in a hotel. They had money, they had drivers, they had 4-wheel drive, so there was no problem for them to go. But this LFT reached there without any money, without any relief goods, without any vehicle. So poor LFT had to stay with the local people. But it was not poor LFT, it was a rich LFT because he could able to learn the language very quickly from them. He could understand the culture. He became one among them. So that helped a lot for him to start expanding the work. When United Nations World Food Program and other big organizations came with the relief goods, they were looting them. They could not able to stand and distribute in an orderly manner because they were so desperate that it was impossible for them to manage to control how to distribute those goods. So they decided, these big organizations, to find some local leaders to give the food to be distributed. So when they asked the local people referred that we trust this Dharma LFT from USA. So that is the comment. Within a few days, the local people gave to those big organizations. So they gave the relief goods to this LFT to distribute. So this is how Hammett started in that area. So from that relief project, then once the disaster was over, the LFT presented a project proposal to provide drinking water to 65 villages in that area. There is a natural spring originating from one village, but the 65 villages, they were walking 3 to 4 hours every day to go and fetch water for cooking and drinking. So they were not able to go to do job or to go to school, or they will go part of the time only to school. So this was the condition. So this project proposal was accepted, we got funding, so the water project became successful. So they made a village committee, so different village leaders made it like a cooperative, like a committee, like a commission. They sat together, they discussed if there is any problem, how to resolve it together. Dharma was just a medium, he was just a catalyst, he was just helping them to organize themselves. So the project was successful, so the water was, they constructed canals. The canals were taking the water through gravitational force without any electricity, and all the villages now have, all the 65 villages in that area has pure drinking water in 10 minutes walking distance. Even now it is not every home has tap, but just at least they have running water in every village. Although the water is pure because it is coming from natural spring, but the canal is not a closed canal, it's open, and particularly rainy season the rainwater gets polluting the water. So the next project was water filter. So they constructed biosand water filter in the same village, thereby giving job to the local people. So this water filter we were selling it at a subsidized price to every home. After having water filter and this drinking water, the waterborne disease rate has reduced by 1/3 in the last 3 years. So first started with relief, then water project, then became water filter. Then the people had no job. So the World Food Program was giving us food, and we were giving this food to them in exchange of work. So Food for Work program. So we were able to give job by constructing roads, by constructing school buildings, by renovating the existing school buildings. So we were giving job. When I was there recently, the local people would come and tell that our bridge is broken, our road is broken, our dam is broken. Then we go and see what is the situation. So then we take 300 employees and go and fix the road, or the bridge or the dam. So in exchange they get food. So in this way they are getting food and we get work done and the community is benefited. So recently they gave food for 5,000 people for 6 months. So we could able to distribute and get work, and we are developing the community. So then we also organize the women of those area to form like a micro credit union. So the women are working very hard, but economically they are very backward. So they are using donkey to go and sell their products. Weekly market they have in each and every village. So they come 10 kilometers, 12 kilometers sitting on a donkey. Sometimes they come the night and stay there. So now by forming this cooperative, they will able to buy vehicle together and able to transport the goods to a bigger place and sell in a better price. So and also we start educating them on providing vegetables. They have a lot of vegetables, but they don't know how to eat. For example, I don't know you know or not, it's called drumstick, malungai. This is a vegetable which is in Africa, which is in Philippines, which is in Thailand, which is in India.
In our house in Venezuela.
Venezuela too. Okay, Nicaragua and other places. But in Haiti, they don't know how to eat it. So they use this plant as a border plant, fence, no, as a fence, and they don't know how to consume it. So when we went there, we taught them, and this tree has been declared as a miracle tree. From the root, you can use everything. You can use the flowers, you can use the vegetable, you can use the leaves, roots even. So, and it has a lot of medicinal value. It's a cleansing agent, it is antioxidant, it's very, very good for health. So they have and they don't know how to use. So we taught them to use, and also there is a lot of soil erosion. So that's why recently, like last year, when there was a flood, there was 4 to 5 feet of mud in the whole time of Gonai. So you can imagine nothing can move because the whole city is flooded with mud. So there we started again relief operation. It took 6 months of time to clean the mud from the school and to restart the school. The problem is because there are no trees, the fuel for them is the coal. And the coal they get it from not from the earth but by cutting the trees, making the coal from the trees. So if any small tree they will see they cut it and use it to make coal. So they don't have any other means of fuel. Charcoal, yeah. So when they make this charcoal, there is no more tree at all. So when there is no tree, when the rain comes, it washes away the soil. So the situation is so chaotic that the whole city was covered with mud. So there also we did relief work. So when I explain all this relief project, it may appear that it is hammered work, how it is related with PROUT. But for me, it is PROUT in action, because we teach them how to grow the vegetable and food. So by which we provide food for them. We have a healthcare center in villages there, by which it's like a primary healthcare center. It's not a full-fledged hospital, but we pay the doctors and they get primary healthcare. And if it is serious, we send them to a bigger hospital. So they have at least, otherwise they had no doctor at all. Now at least they have a primary healthcare center. And we give teachers training to the teachers in the government school and other schools there. Plus, we construct building because the school environment is not congenial. The children are not inspired to go to school. So we construct school building and we provide teachers training both, by which the education level is increasing. So, and also we have an industry now to produce bricks, tiles and other construction materials so that they can construct their own home. So in this way we are giving indirectly housing help. Only the minimum requirement which we are not giving is clothing. But there is a possibility of that too in the future. But in order to get all those minimum requirements, they need purchasing capacity, because PROUT does not believe to distribute these things for free of cost. So how to get the purchasing capacity to the local people? So what we have done is that the latest project is salt industry. There is ocean water which is pumped into the fields, where it is like tanks. First it is reserved as a tank, and then from there it is pumped into another reservoir where it will be condensed and then it is crystallized. and then you harvest the salt regularly. So we are planning to produce 8,000 metric tons of salt, and already it's in progress. So we are expecting maybe within 2-3 months the salt production should start. And World Food Program of United Nations, they have made agreement they will buy the entire salt from us.